अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज हम जॉइंट की क्लासिफिकेशन को रिव्यू करेंगे। इसको जानने के लिए फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी शुड नो सम की टर्म्स अबाउट जॉइंट्स। फॉर एग्जांपल, आर्थ्रॉन। आर्थ्रॉन इज अ ग्रीक वर्ड. Its meaning is joint. Likewise, articulatio, another Italian word for joint. Then junctura, another Latin word for joint. Then the key term is syndesmology. Syndesmology means study of ligaments and related joints. Word to word meaning of syndesmosis is ligament. ठीक है. So these are the key terms. Now there are always some basis for a classification of anything. So when we talk about joints, the first classification is structural classification. In structural classification, we can see that it is further has subtypes. Number one is the fibrous joints, number two is the cartilaginous joint, and number three is the synovial joints. So the first criteria of joint classification is on the basis of structure. क्लियर. अच्छा, अब हम बात करेंगे second basis of joint classification. The second basis is on the basis of region, and on the basis of region there are a number of types, but we are in first line we are discussing the different basis to classify the joints. The third classification is according to number of articulating bones. ठीक है. Now we shall discuss the further subtypes. For example, we have a basis of classification that is structural. On the basis of structure, we have a type of joints which are called as fibrous joints, and further fibrous joints are classified into sutures, syndesmosis, and gomphosis. Clear? Now, the second subtype of structural classification is cartilaginous joint, and cartilaginous joints are further divided into primary cartilaginous joints and secondary cartilaginous joint. Primary cartilaginous joints are also called as synchondrosis, you can see here, and the secondary cartilaginous joints are also called as symphysis or amphiarthrosis. The third subtype of structural classification is synovial joints. Synovial joints are further divided into ball and socket or spheroidal joints, sellar or saddle joints, condylar or bicondylar joints, ellipsoid joints, hinge joints, ellipsoid joints, hinge joints, pivot or trochoid joints, and last but not least are the plane joints. So these are the subtypes of synovial joints, and synovial joints is the subtype of structural classification. Clear? Another basis of joint classification is functional classification or according to degree of mobility. The subtype of it is number one is the immovable or synarthrosis, and the other is highly movable joints, and it is also called as amphiarthrosis. And the third subtype of classification on the basis of movements is diarthrosis or freely movable joint. Diarthrosis or freely movable joint. On the basis of regional classification, the subtypes are skull type, the joints which are present in the skull; the vertebral type, the joints which are present in this vertebral column; and the limb type, the joints which are present in the upper limb as well as lower limb. Clear? And according to number of articulating bones, the further subtypes are simple joints between two bones, the compound joints more than two bones, and the complex joints. In complex joints, there is a piece of cartilage within the joint cavity. Clear?